There are a lot of heartbreaks in the VA industry. The thing is, you have to continue, you have to move forward until you find your perfect match. It's not only in love stories, it's even in the workplace. You will always find a client that will value you, that will see your worth, and you will always find the dream job that you want. Just don't stop believing.
Hey, hey, hey! What's up, you guys? It's us again, your hosts. I'm Julia.
And I am sweet.
And my name is Dwayne, and right now, join us as we explore how to boost your business with the help of virtual assistants. Whether you're an experienced business owner or just getting started, we'll share easy to understand tips and stories to help you succeed.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you'll never miss an episode. And by the way, welcome to Cosmic
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 Cow!
Couch!
Okay, that was the most in sync we got
Yes, indeed.
as far
Comment
as we
down below,
go.
guys,
Thank
if you
you.
think we were in sync. Yes.
Yes.
Your support means a
Yes.
lot.
Or
Yes,
Kuya
so
Editor,
excited.
because in sync. So, okay. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cheating now. We're gonna go however it sounds like.
Yes, and of course, today, as always, we are sharing another insightful episode for you guys. And today, we are sharing the things that you can do to stand out when you're trying to get a client. That's why we invited a very special guest today. She is a virtual assistant that was hired by Spherocket. So, please welcome our guest today, Pauline Ann.
Yay! Hi, Miss
Hi,
Polly.
everyone. Nice to be in your show. Thank you for inviting me.
Indeed,
Welcome,
it's
Yeah.
such
welcome.
an honor.
hmm Oh, well, my name's Pauline, and I was once a band member, so I play the trumpet. So, well, that
Wow.
was, yeah, until college. Yeah.
Julia
Wow.
can
I
build a
can
band
relate.
right now with our
I
guests.
can relate because I'm also in a college marching band. I also play the flute.
Oh, say,
Yes.
oh, nice.
Right? That's so great. Wow. We have a trumpet player right here. I wish we could have a sample from you. That's so amazing. And I can relate how really amazing being part of the band is. So that is actually an amazing fun fact. So a little context for our viewers or listeners. We asked Miss Pauline to give a little fun fact about herself, and yeah, that was her fun fact. That it was really, really a fun fact, actually.
It's nice to know to have someone share the same interests with. Yeah.
Right, right. But if I may also ask, I'm so sorry. I just have to really ask a question about this.
hmm
Um, are you also are you on a different course taking up and also part of the band, or you're really on music full force or during college?
it actually helped me get through college. So, uh, yeah.
Nice, nice. I
Love
totally
that. We
relate to
love
that.
passionate.
Mm.
Love, love, love. And yeah, of course, Cosmic Couch wouldn't be complete without an icebreaker. So,
Whoop,
Mr.
whoop.
Icebreaker,
Okay, again.
connoisseur, take it away.
Yes, of course. I guess that is my cue now to start the icebreaker, and my icebreaker right now is just going to be, I guess, simple and a bit weird or bizarre because my question for the icebreaker is as VAs, where is the most bizarre or maybe weirdest place that you've logged in or you worked at?
Mm.
That's actually a fun question. For me, I think the first thing that popped into my mind was in a I don't know if you call it a billiard place or like it's a food restaurant but with a billiard pool and everything. So the lights are all out or dark, but as long as I got to log in and be on time, I think that mattered for me. But yeah, that's it.
Agree. Agree, as long as you're on time, right? So speaking of being on time, I think oh, I know now. The most bizarre place I logged in or start the shift is in a um Korean barbecue restaurant. So in a samgyup place, as we call it in Filipino. So, I was with the family at that time, and we extended a little bit because we're having fun, and the food was so great. So, a good thing I was bringing my laptop with me, so I was able to log in. That was my first time like working in a Korean barbecue house, like while we are cooking.
That's one of the wonders of becoming a VA because you're able to work literally like everywhere, anywhere that has an internet
Mm.
connection. For me, it's quite similar. I was in a staycation place in the province, but there's good Wi-Fi there. So yeah, I was outdoors. I was like kind of like in a park in a yeah, I guess the farm kind of is pretty much the most bizarre place I've been in. Luckily, there's good internet connection, and yeah, I was able to work there. It's a fun experience. And how about you, Pauline? I guess last best for last.
Okay. The most bizarre I'm in is at the back of the car because there was
At
no
the trunk of a
electricity and
car or
yeah,
inside the car?
uh, at the back seat of the car.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, at the
I
back
need to
seat. I thought
clarify
you
that.
Oh,
were I thought you
Yeah.
got kidnapped
Um,
or something, like in the trunk of a car.
well, there was no internet and electricity at that time, so I need to go and look for mobile data. So I need to be in the car just to log in and do meetings in the car. With no with less electricity and just the light from the back seat of the car. Yeah.
Very,
Well,
very resourceful.
yeah, I mean, the show must go on, and what's important is that
Mhm.
you're able to report to your work and you're able to do your task. And speaking of which, I guess that is the time for our topic conversation. So, Julia, maybe open up. What are we going to talk about today?
indeed. So we have a lot of things to talk about. It's very relevant why we have Miss Pauline here as to our guests to have a fresh perspective on different topics when it comes to trying to get a client. So you really have to hone yourself, your own skill, and all of that. And Miss Pauline here has a lot of tips for us. So yeah, Miss Pauline, would you mind sharing to us, what do you think are how do you find yourself unique, or how do you stand out from the rest of other VAs? How does that help you, or make you realize that it is an asset, or that's your niche? How do you figure all of that out?
I've been in the government for 7 years, so most of my tasks are administrative. So that's where I found out that it was my comfort place already. And I use that to get clients, mainly because of my organization skills, the way I handle just basic G Suite, Microsoft Office. Uh, a lot of clients are really in need of back end support. So it means handling data, um, just encoding and stuff. So that I think is my main asset when it comes to being a VA. Though my first job is actually a marketing assistant. So when I entered Sphere Rocket, I get to rekindle with um my real niche of being in the administrative side.
Hey, and if I may ask, how long again are you with the working with the government? 2 years, 3 years? Sorry, I
I've
can't
been
remember.
working. I've worked with the barangay for like 7 years as a barangay secretary. Yes,
7 years.
yes,
Guess that's a
7
lot of
long years of hardship.
uh,
No, just kidding.
hardship, fun, fun times because I think that's just the niche that you've been wanting to. And I'm
Mm,
guessing, it's still quite a leap coming from working for the government. to working for a client overseas? I guess it's kind of similar in some aspect, but if you look at it in a different perspective, you're just doing administrative tasks in both kind of work. But how different is it? Like what you're doing before, or are there any like really good similarities and differences they can share with us?
Being in the government is mostly doing interactions with other people. So I am already trained in handling different types of people. Like if someone enters the office with different personalities, how they approach people in the government, I'm sure you have an idea about that. Um, I think the only difference is you're connecting with people virtually. But the other task is it's quite similar. So as I've told Miss Sweet before, I've only started with my only knowledge is about Microsoft Office and G Suite. Just Google Sheets, Google Docs, and stuff. Like I know how to encode, I know to how to input data in an Excel file, I know how to do PowerPoints. Um, that has been my I relied on those skills just to get a client. So all of these I've learned in college. I've done in my previous job. So yeah, I think that's it. There are some design jobs in the government, but not that much. Um, but what I found out is your basic knowledge is very much important when it comes to entering the virtual space.
I agree with that. Yeah. So,
Mm,
so yeah. So those basic knowledge will serve as really your foundation in any um, industries that you will
mm-hmm,
try and explore with when it comes to being a VA. Whether you're in marketing, admin. So whether you are in the different areas, those foundations will really serve as your stepping stone when it comes to entering a new field. So
mm-hmm.
from government, so for the context of our new listeners, from the government industry jumping into the VA industry, what pushed you to become a virtual assistant, and how did you started that journey, and how did you landed your first client at that time? To what are the things that you did in your personal strategies, or what's the secret sauce in getting your first client, given that you were a government official or government employee before?
Yeah. The main thing why I went into virtual assistants is when I was pregnant with my third child. Well, I have three children. I've thought that I've lost a lot of like time that I should have spent with my children, things like that. And I want to really focus on taking care of my children. Um, it is only now that I'm experiencing, the milestones that they say that I haven't experienced with my two children. So I think that's the main thing why I entered these virtual jobs. And the first step that I did was actually research is the first thing. So what is I've seen like a lot of posts. I'm looking for virtual assistant, virtual assistant. What does this mean? So I started my research, and I started floating my resume that is not really polished, just the raw one. Like to 20, 20 or more different job sites. I've even submitted through Facebook. When someone posts a job, I just send over my resume. Um, and then I got in even to another agency before that has just pulled us. But I haven't got a client from that agency before. Um, but it's worth taking the risk. When you like have a lot of experiences in just giving out your resume, you get used to it. You get interviews, you get trained. So what the main thing there is to show up during interviews. um you build your confidence around that. So you get to realize after the interview that um I think I did not share much of my experiences at that time. I think my grammar at that time is wrong. That's why the client didn't like me. So you get to build yourself up, like the main points where you should improve. So, and aside from that, when I was fluting my resume, I also see um like how to improve my resume, looking at other people's resume and comparing it. How can I improve this? And then from that, I got my first client. Um, it was a real estate company as well, where I was hired as a marketing assistant. With my only knowledge is just Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, and G Suite. I didn't know about Canva before. I didn't know about like what was that again? The design apps that we have right now. So it's all about taking the risk.
Indeed, taking the risk. I love that. That is actually one of the things that we should embrace in order to get out of our comfort zone. And we never know what the end of the rainbow is, right? So,
Hmm.
you always got to take that risk. And yeah, talking about risks, I want to ask, can you walk us through how you really developed yourself on together with also going with meetings for Rocket, finding your own job position right now, how you discovered all of that, and how you really shaped up your portfolio as well, right? Your resume,
Hmm.
all of that. How did you build all of that? How do you find your own personal brand, and all of those things? Shaping up yourself so that also our listeners and viewers could also get some little tips and tricks from you as well.
Hmm. So, with my experience, I believe that I cannot deliver everything that my client needs. That's why what I did was research. They would be recommending like apps that I need to learn. So I do research. I One thing is I really benefited from free trials. I love signing off with three free trials like apps, uh because you get to know the app first before you can thoroughly use it. So at least you have the basics before you go into the professional level that you need. That has been very helpful for me. I landed a client before because of that. um it was Asana, I believe. Yeah. I have no idea what Asana is. Then I signed up for a free trial. I worked around it, and it really helped me know more about that. And I said during the interview, I know how to use Asana, but all I know is the basics. But yeah, I landed a job for due to that. And aside from that, don't be scared to ask questions. There are a lot of communities in Facebook that you can connect to. There are a lot of discussions that you can join. If you want to know about something, if you can also ask for recommendations. What's the best tool that you use for this type of job? You can also discover what your real niche is when you discuss with other people. It gives you realizations that hey, I'm good in designing, so maybe I should try doing this. Or hey, I know how to organize your stuff, so maybe I can be your general virtual assistant, things like that. It's more on discovering what you can do, and testing your limits as well. Sometimes we are very much limited with our thinking. We have self doubts. We have you know we have uncertainties, especially when you are a newbie. But the thing is, I don't really believe in, fake it till you make it, especially when it comes to skills. It's better to be not knowledgeable about something, but you can easily learn that skill, rather than saying that you know that and then under deliver. So the best thing is to build yourself up first. There are a lot of free courses. If you have the money to do so, then get a paid course. Um, if not, yeah, you can do what I did before, like do free trials. Um, discover yourself through other people as well. Join communities. Connect with other people. You know, as much as possible, try to target the free resources, because there are a lot of free resources right now. I believe that the virtual space is kind of saturated right now. There are a lot of people competing for this niche, and the best thing that can make you stand out is your willingness to learn and to grow. I think, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, it's really important to be really resourceful, especially in this field.
Mm-hmm.
As you mentioned, saturated, and the market is really small compared to other, I guess BPO
Mm-hmm.
jobs or any mainstream jobs in the country right now. So landing a virtual assistant job is a challenge as
Correct.
itself. So it's good to stand out, as you've mentioned. So yeah, investing in yourself, be it like via free trials or just actually enrolling for a course online. It's you don't need to attend this class physically, like online. It's also an option. And earlier you mentioned that, before you landed your first client, you have nothing but, the basic skills, as you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
like, Microsoft
Yes.
G Suites, Microsoft Word. So how did you sell yourself to the client in order to get one if you just have the basics to say?
Mm-hmm. Well, I did highlight the basics that I know, and I said that I am very much willing to learn. Um, I've heard from one client before that it is not important if a VA is like experienced or not. The thing is, there is this willingness to learn and the willingness to collaborate with them. Um, Sometimes we just focus on, like, I need to do this correctly, I need to do this perfectly, but we forget that we also need to connect with our clients. So I believe that when you connect with your clients well, it would be much easier for you to learn. It's much easier for you to grow, because you get to ask them easily, like, how can I do this? Is there any apps that you recommend? Do you have, it's much easier to connect with your client, and um, just build yourself up. And I believe that when they see that in you, they would really help you achieve that as well. If they see that you are very much willing to help them in their business, that would highlight you among the rest.
I see. And if I may ask, since you mentioned
Mhm.
it, you're able to connect, make that connection with your current client. During your interview, what do you think was your X factor? That moment that you think made you be, accepted or received by your client?
They say that I respond fast to questions. So I think that's very important as well in interviews. Like, do not leave a long space between answering questions. As much as possible, you respond to them immediately. Um, because they think that should be your you're a fast thinker, when you at the back of your mind you're still generating your answers. One example that I can think of is like, what is your best asset? And I was thinking, yeah, that's a good question. I've been reflecting about that for some time. And then I was thinking at the back of my head, what should I
Like Miss
answer this?
Universe, don't they answer
Yeah,
it?
correct. Yeah, just like Miss Universe questions that you need to like pull out a sentence or some words that would let you think for the moment. Yeah, while constructing your answers, just
Thank
not
you
to
for the
leave them
wonderful
hanging.
question. It's an amazing
Yes.
turn here. Everyone thought like
Uh-huh.
that. Okay, it really
Yeah.
helps.
And aside from that, just be you. A client notices if you're like faking it too much, or you're very nervous at that time. They can notice that. But the thing is, you have to be confident about yourself. Even though you lack the skills, or you're still building yourself up. The thing is, you know that you want this job, and always think about why you want this job. I think that really helps.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's really anchoring to why you are starting that specific job that you wanted to get.
Mhm.
And what I'm hearing from you is it's really about um, it's not really about experience sometimes, although it's important. But sometimes when you're just trying out and you're a beginner in the industry, specifically in the VA industry, uh, character means a lot. Your personality, the way you present yourself, and also your willingness to learn. And in your case, actually, that's one thing that I really admire with Pauline is really, that was a news for me as someone who has been in the um, VA industry for for what 5 years. So I never really maximize those free stuff like free trials and the internet. Like that was a really great idea when it comes to especially with the with VAs who wanted to start their career in the industry, or a VA who wanted to upskill him or herself and wanting to give more value to the clients, and of course in return or earn more. Because sometimes there's actually one episode as well that there's a misconception with VAs that VAs are rich, earn high. Of course, when it comes with that notion, you also want to be high of value as well, and that entails upskilling. So maximizing this free stuff in the internet, free trials, and navigating what the website is or that particular tool, so that could give you so much edge when it comes to applying the role that you really want to have when it comes to being a VA. So thank you so much, Pauline, for sharing all of those experiences. Really, really appreciate you. And yes, thank you so much.
Yes, indeed. And with that being said, before we start wrapping up, and of course, we're going to give out our biggest takeaway from you. You shared a lot of knowledge, and I bet our listeners and viewers right now also learned a lot from what you've mentioned earlier. So yeah, before we share or wrap up, do you have anything else to share, like anything to promote as well on your socials?
Oh, I'm not really into social stuff, but maybe I just want to share that don't give up. Really, it still works. And there are a lot of heartbreaks in the VA industry. um the thing is, you have to continue, you have to move forward until you find your perfect match. It's not only in love stories, it's even in the workplace. You will always find a client that will value you, that will see your worth, and you will always find the dream job that you want. Just don't stop believing.
Indeed. So love is not only there for romantic scenarios, but it also happens in work, in family, and in personal life, and wherever you see it, you see love everywhere. And with that being said, thank you so much for that, Miss Pauline. There you have it. And of course, let's have our own, takeaways. For me, the biggest takeaway that I got from Miss Pauline is to always take the risk and keep communication open, and of course, always keep things natural or in a conversational way, right? Just like what you've mentioned earlier, right? When you have interviews and all of that, you must think fast and really say the things that are at the top of your head, and keep that makes it really natural. So that's for me.
Thanks for that, Julia. And as for me, my biggest takeaway is what Pauline's background is. Keep growing. Keep growing, and always, look for opportunities for you to upskill yourself. It's really something that is really, really important, because with the ever changing, ever evolving industry that we have in the VA industry, we really have to keep growing. So that's my biggest takeaway. How about you, Dwayne?
For me, it was what she mentioned over the latter part of the episode. It is not giving up, because a lot of times I've interviewed a lot of people that has nearly at the point of giving up of having a VA because they couldn't land the perfect client for them. So you can have several mistakes, several say not so pleasure, not so good clients in your life if you're ever in the VA industry, but it's not over until you actually stop searching. The best you can have is just several failures. So if you don't stop, you wouldn't fail until you get that client. So just never give up, and make sure that you learn from all of the mistakes that you found in the past, and try to see what was missing and what do you want, and then focus on getting that client. So that is my takeaway for this episode.
Yay! There you have it. And with that being said, that actually ends our whole podcast. Thank you so much once again, Miss Pauline, for being such an amazing, amazing guest. We learned a lot from you. And of course, you guys, if you have any remote work stories or tips, share them by commenting down below. So until next time, stay productive and stay connected.
Okay. And of course, before we end this, we'll never get tired of promoting our social media platforms. So make sure that you guys get to watch the latest episodes that we have here at Cosmic Couch, and our client interviews as well. So on YouTube, it's Sphere Rocket Network, and Facebook, it's Sphere Rocket VA. And Sweet, your turn.
Yes, and if you are a business owner who wants to scale your business with virtual assistants, please visit www.sphererocketva.com. And if you are an aspiring virtual assistant and to be like Miss Pauline here, and you want to work from home, then just visit www.spherejobs.ph, also known as Sphere Rocket Jobs. So, yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And this has been our episode for today of Cosmic
Cosmic Couch.
Couch.
Wow. Bye,
See
everyone.
you
Thank you
next
so much.
time.
Oh, bye,
Bye, Miss
everyone.
Pauline. Thank you.
Feeling overwhelmed by your business tasks? Well, it's time to step up your game. Visit www.sphererocketva.com and get a virtual assistant from us at Sphere Rocket VA. Streamline your business operations and focus on what really matters.